Good morning, students. Welcome back to our economics class. Today we are going to learn Statistics for Economics, Chapter 2, Collection of Data, and this is Part 2. So let's start our class.
In this video, we are going to discuss about statistical methods for collecting primary data. How many methods are available for collecting primary data? So, quick revision, what is primary data? So, primary data means first hand data. Means if someone collect first time data and use it, then it is known as a primary data. Okay, and second is secondary data, means when you make use of others data. So this is what secondary data. When you use existing data for your inquiry, then it is secondary data. But if you yourself conduct inquiry, if you yourself collect the data and use it for your inquiry, then it is first hand data. Okay. Now, so before starting the main topic, first of all, we have requirement to understand some basic term. So first is statistical inquiry. What is a statistical inquiry? It means statistical investigation. It means statistical investigation. Okay, जब हम कोई चीज़ सर्च कर रहे होते हैं, जब हम कोई चीज़ समझना चाहते हैं, उसके बारे में कुछ ढूंढना चाहते हैं, उसको हम समझना चाहते हैं, तो हम क्या करते हैं? स्टैटिकल इंक्वायरी करते हैं. ओके. सेकेंड, or it means a search conducted by using a statistical method. Okay, if we want to understand anything, okay, and we are using a statistical method, then it is known as a statistical inquiry. How many statistical method are there? 5. First is collection, then organization, then presentation, then analysis, then interpretation. Okay, so by using these steps, if you find out some information and you conclude, this is known as a statistical inquiry. Okay. Now, who is known as an investigator? Who conduct investigation is known as an investigator. Okay. Suppose if there is fight between two students, so ma'am, who wants to know the reason for this fight or this quarrel, so she conduct an inquiry. So ma'am is investigator. Okay. Now respondent, who provides information. So those two students who is going to give the information why they are fighting. Okay. So they are respondent. So who provides information about anything, okay, about the inquiry related point. So they are considered as a respondent. Enumerator, who help investigator in inquiry, is known as a enumerator. Enumerator means helper. Enumerator helps to whom? Investigation. Okay, suppose so there is fighting between two students. Ma'am want to conduct an inquiry. Okay, so ma'am will ask those two students as well as more students who are connected with these two students, and ma'am can take help of some other teacher. Suppose ma'am had take help of two more teacher. Okay, Pradeep sir and Pradeep sir and any more teacher. Okay, Jackie sir. So this is what they are known as a enumerator. Those two students who has done fighting and other student are considered as a respondent. Okay, investigator who do the inquiry. Okay. Now, this is the basic topic of our video. How basic data is collected. Some statistical methods are modes of data collection. Okay, so these methods, personal interview, information through questionnaire and schedule, and telephonic interview. Okay, these are related to collection of primary data. In the first, personal investigator interview, there are three methods: direct personal investigation, indirect oral investigation, and third is information from local sources and correspondence. Okay, in brief, information through questionnaire and schedule. Within that, there are two methods, mailing and enumerator. And last one is telephonic method. In this video, we are going to discuss about two, direct personal and indirect oral. Okay. So, before starting the first method, that is direct personal investigation. So first of all, we needed to understand its meaning. Direct personal investigation. This is a method in which investigator connect directly to respondent. Okay, connect directly to respondents. So this is your direct personal investigator. Okay, investigator, one side is investigator and other side is respondent, means about whom the inquiry is conducted. Both are connected to each other directly. There is contact, personal contact. Okay, so this type of method is known as a direct personal investigations. Like I can give example for you. Interview. If ma'am want to appoint a teacher, mathematics teacher, so ma'am is what? Ma'am is investigator. She wants to know if the teacher is having proper efficiency to teach or not. So one side is ma'am and other side is that teacher, means about whom inquiry is done. Okay, so it is related to interview. Okay, personal interview, where investigator and respondent both are connected to each other. Okay, this method is very costly in point of time, effort and money, because investigator directly connect to respondent and take all the information himself. So it is going to take more time, more effort and more money. Okay, suppose you want to conduct an inquiry and suppose this inquiry is related to your school. Okay, if a person wants to know how many of you like fast food and how many of you don't like fast food, and that investigator, that person, that researcher, that investigator is going to connect every student. Means suppose there are 2000 students in your school and that investigator is going to connect all the students. Okay, so obviously it is going to be more time taking, it require more effort and there will be more expenditure of money. So it is a costly process, but its positive point is that it's give you accurate information, okay, and reliable information, and all informations are original. So these three are its powerful positive aspect. It gives you accurate data. Why accurate data? Because you are getting all the answers. The inquiry about whom, means जिसके बारे में inquiry है उससे से आप directly पूछ रहे हो, तो obviously you are going to get accurate and reliable data, and this is going to be original data. When we call original data, means जिसके बारे में inquiry है, जब वही answer करता है तो उस data को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Original data कहते हैं. तो in this way, direct personal investigation, whatever data we get, that is more accurate, more original, and more reliable. Okay, but one major demerit is that it is time consuming, it is require more effort, it is require more money. So let me start. Direct personal investigation. The direct personal investigation is the method by which data personally collected by investigator from the respondent. I had told you now, one side is investigator and other side is respondent. Information is going to ask question and respondent is going to give answer. So he is going to ask question and he is going to give answer. So this process is known as a direct personal investigation. Okay, so this is the meaning. Note down it. What do you mean by direct personal investigation? When investigator personally connected by investigator from the respondent. In other words, investigator establish direct relationship with the person from whom the information is to be obtained. So you can write anyone for the meaning. Okay. Now, direct contact with the work. Here is given one example. Direct contact with the worker of an industry to obtain information about their economic condition is an example of this method. If you want to know the condition of workers who are working in an industry, if you connect to each and every worker and ask them question, so this is what? This is direct personal investigation. One more example I can give you, job interview. Okay, so it is also example of direct personal investigation. Okay, one more very easy example I can give. Suppose you are not coming from 3 or 4 days, so obviously you have to first go to principal office. You have to give answers why you are not coming without any information. So this is what? Direct personal investigator. Okay. Now, when we use this method, suitability means what? When we use this method. Okay. So when it is useful. So suitability. So when the field of investigation is limited, are not very large. Okay, when small, when area of investigation is small, are limited, then we use. Because suppose if you want to conduct a direct personal investigation, okay, but in that school there are suppose 3,000 students are studying, so it is not possible for you to connect each and everyone in a specific period of time. Okay. So if there is only studying 1000 or 500, so you can connect. Okay. So it is only used when area of inquiry, yani number of the people are limited. Okay. Next is a greater degree of originality of the data is required. Okay. When you want original data, then you use this method. Okay. Like if you want to know the condition of workers, so obviously if you want original data, real condition, so you have to ask that person. Like reporters, this time they are going and directly ask the question to COVID-19 patient, or doctor directly go to COVID-19 patients and ask how they are feeling. So this is what? Direct personal investigation. Okay. Next is information to be kept secret. In that case also we use this method when we want to secrecy of data. Like suppose there is some sensitive issue, like suppose few students are smoking, are doing something that is not good for their health. So obviously you have to contact them directly. Okay. I think this example is not correct here. Actually, secrecy, if you want to know about a religious issue, a sensitive issue, okay, and you know secrecy is very important in this field, so you use this method. Okay. Next is accuracy of data is of great significance. If you want accurate data, if you want original data, if you want original accurate data, then you use this method. Okay. When direct contact with respondent is required, like in job interview, if you want to select a teacher, so obviously you have to connect with that person. Okay. So you have to conduct an interview. Okay. So this method is used when these situation we find. Okay. Now merits. So what are the merits of this method? First is original. I had told you now, in personal direct investigation, one side is investigator, another side is respondent. So obviously which type of data you are going to get? Original, accurate and reliable. Why? Because जिसके बारे में हम इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं वो खुद ही आंसर दे रहा है. That's why. Okay. Now, तो original, accuracy and reliable. So next is related information. When in direct contact with the respondent, the investigation may obtain other related information as well. Okay. So whenever you are going to connect respondent, you are not able to get few information, you get additional information also. Okay, uniformity, obviously when investigator himself asks question, okay, so obviously there will be uniformity, जो भी क्वेश्चन का आंसर उसे चाहिए वो घुमा फिरा के पूछ के वो आंसर निकलवा लेता है. ओके, तो इस तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेशन कैसा होता है, यूनिफॉर्म होता है. Okay, now elastic, obviously if you don't if respondent means a person don't want to give answer directly, okay, so the investigator, he can ask this question in another sense or in another word also, so there is possibility to change the mode of questions. Okay, so these are the merits. Now demerits of this method, first is we cannot use this method when investigation area is wide. Okay, so if there are 10,000 people or 10 lakh people that come in investigation area, so you cannot use this method. Okay, next is personal bias. Okay, so here is only two, respondent and investigator. Okay, so suppose a respondent had given proper answer, but when you are writing the answer, you are filling the answer, you can do personal bias. Bias means what, ki you behave, you have opinion according to that you conduct the inquiry. Like suppose if a student misbehave with her teacher, okay, now there is a time of team selection for cricket. So when asked to that teacher ki who are best in cricket, suppose that boy who has misbehaved with the teacher, he is good in cricket, but ma'am is not feeling good with that student, or sir is not feeling good with that student because he has done misbehave with him or her, so maybe he don't recommend that name. So this is what, bias. This is the bias. So personal bias, there is more possibility of personal bias, costly. So in beginning I had told you it takes more time, more effort and more money. Okay, why? Because you are going to connect each and every one. Okay, limited coverage, obviously when few, if there are few people, so you can connect, but if there are many people, you cannot connect. Okay, so in this way this method is over. Now next is indirect oral investigation. In the first name is direct personal investigation, it is what, indirect oral investigation. Okay, so first of all I want to explain in my way. So what is indirect oral investigation? So in this method, one side is investigator and another side is third party. Third party means the person who is having information about that person, like friends, teacher, parents, neighbor. So these are considered as a third party. So in this method, investigator is not going to connect to respondent, जिसके बारे में इंक्वायरी हो रही है उससे वो क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछता है, but he asks question to those people who know him, okay, who having information about that person. Okay, so this is known as an indirect oral investigation. So here is what, investigator is himself going to ask question, but to whom? To third party, means those person who are having information regarding informants are respondent. Okay, जिसके बारे में इंक्वायरी हो रही है उसके बारे में जो लोग नॉलेज रखते हैं उनसे क्वेश्चन किया जाता है. ठीक. Okay, so now what is written? Indirect oral investigation is the method by which information is obtained not from the person regarding whom the information is needed. It is collected orally from other person who are expected to possess the necessary information. Okay, example, this method, the data on economic condition of the worker may be collected from their employees rather than worker themselves. So if you are going to use direct personal investigation, so you are going to connect every worker. But if you decided you will use indirect oral investigator, so you are going to direct connect it to officers, few employees, okay, not to every worker. Okay, so here you are going to employers, you are going to connect with the officers, okay, yeah, who is going to give them job. Now when we use this method, when area of investigation is large, okay, suppose in a factory there 10,000 workers are working, so obviously in a limited time period you cannot connect to every worker, okay, 10,000 worker. So what you will do, you will ask directly to employer, other some officers, okay, and you come to know about their condition, okay. So when area of inquiry is very large, we use this method. It is not possible to have direct connect with the concerned respondent. In some cases, it is not possible to connect directly, like in some sensitive issue. I had given wrong example in previous method. That suppose, but that example fit here. Okay, suppose few students are there who are smoking. Okay, but if any person is going to ask directly to that boy कि you are doing smoking, you are smoking, so they are going to not give correct answer. So in this case, when some boys or some people are doing illegal activity or that things that is not accepted by the society, so obviously those person is not going to give you correct answer. So in this case you require, yeah, investigator require to ask question to their those person, like neighbor, like friend, teacher, parents, guardians, okay. So in this way, in this condition, there is requirement to ask third party, okay. So whenever you know ki answer is not going to be correct, so you will ask to third party, okay. The concerned respondent are not capable of giving information because of their ignorance or illiteracy, okay. In one more case, if suppose respondent are not so much literate or they don't know about that, so in that case also you cannot connect with them. Like suppose if you goes to a factory and you want to know ki which technique is used here for production and what is the cost of production, how the price is decided. So obviously you cannot ask these questions to workers. You have to connect with officers, engineers. So in this case, who are actually working on the machinery, you are not going to connect them because they are not able to explain these technical issue. So you needed to require you needed to meet to officers, to engineers, okay. Next is investigation is so complex in nature that only expert can give you information. So like COVID-19 case. So if you want to make a investigation about COVID-19, about symptoms, about death rate, recovery rate, so obviously if you go to COVID-19 patient and ask these questions, they cannot give the answer. But if you ask to doctor, to expert, so they are able to clarify all these things, okay. So these methods are basically used by government or non-government committees or commissions, okay. Now merit, so it cover wide area, okay. So when there are more number of people, too much number of the people, then we use indirect oral investigation, okay student. Less expensive obviously because you don't there is no required to connect everyone, you only ask few of them, okay, that's why. Now expert opinion, here you are going to get expert opinion, okay. Now free from bias, so it is in personal direct investigation there is only two, one side is respondent, one side is in investigation, so anyone can bias, anyone can give wrong answer about anyone, but here is less possibility of personal bias. Simple. Okay, so it is very simple because you are going to connect with expert people, employers, okay, and you are going to get the information. Now demerit, less accurate, obviously, because you in this method you are going to connect with third parties, so these people can give not able to give you full information. They are not having proper information. Obviously they will give some information, but that is not going to be accurate, that is not going to be original, that not going to be so much reliable. Remember, so whatever the merit of personal direct investigation, that is here demerit of indirect oral investigation. Okay, so this method is going to be less accurate. Why? Because we are getting answer from third party. Biased, obviously third party can give wrong answer. Okay, like if there is selection of cricket team, so if selector is not going to ask directly to a student who are good, okay, if he is going to take opinion from the class teacher, so maybe class teacher is not going to suggest correct name. It is possible, so possibility of bias here. Okay, doubtful conclusion also. Sometime if third party yani friends, neighbor, classmates, guardian, if they don't give proper answer, yeah, they don't want to give right answer, so there will be doubtful conclusion. Like in the case of theft, in case of murder, in case of various crime, there is used direct personal indirect oral investigation. Okay, so they get doubtful conclusion, they are not able to get directly the correct answer. Okay, now, so at the last I want to clear you differences between these two methods. Here is personal direct investigation, here is indirect oral investigation. Okay, so here is investigation, ask question to respondent and respondent give answer to investigation. Okay, here investigator ask questions to third party. Third party means friend, neighbors, teachers, classmate, your mother, father, sister, brother, who are connected with you, yeah, connected with the respondent. Okay, so investigator is going to ask question to third party, and these people is going to give answer to investigator. Okay, so these person, so because here is direct answer is given by the respondent, so that is why we get accurate, original and reliable data. On the other side, it is more costly from time, money and effort. So if you talk about time, money, effort, it is more costly. On the other hand, if you talk about indirect oral investigation, so you get less accurate, less original, no, you don't get original data, sorry, here you don't get original data, you get less accurate and less reliable data. Okay, and here it is less costly, so it is it's positive thing. Okay, now let me start. So difference between direct personal investigation and indirect oral investigation. So first, in the case of direct personal investigation, that investigator established direct connect with the respondent. So here is investigator, and who is going to give the answer? Respondent. So there is a direct connection. Okay. On the other hand, in the case of indirect oral investigation, information is obtained by contacting other than those about whom information is sought. Means investigator is going to ask question to third party, not to respondent. Okay, now direct personal investigation is generally possible when the field of investigation is small, and it is when it is large. Indirect oral investigation, when area of investigation is large. Okay, next difference. Direct personal investigation, investigator must be well versed in the language, culture, habits of respondent. But in indirect oral investigation, such requirement is not. Why? Because we are going to connect um, with expert people, literate people, okay, who are going to have a knowledge. Now the last one, direct investigation is relatively costlier than the indirect investigation. Okay, direct investigation takes more time, more money, more effort, because you are going to connect everyone. Okay, in indirect investigation, you just require to ask few people. Okay, and in this way it takes less time. Okay, student, so in this way this video is over, and we had covered two methods in this video. Thank you.
So that's all for today, students. Thank you and have a nice day.